everyone. And my name is Love Always. And as you know, I'm a love addict. If you didn't get a chance to watch last week, it's because we had some technical difficulties. So I'm going to have to repost it. And because I had to work out some of those little kinks in there. So it's not up there. So you didn't miss anything. And don't forget to also catch up on anything too that you don't miss or want to keep up on. www.lovealways.today. That's my site. And today, my guest is Victoria Henry from Live Love, no, Live Life Counseling.
Live Light Counseling. Hi, how you doing?
I was like a masquerade.
It's all right.
And today our topic is on gaslighting. So I know we're not talking about the gauge that's on your car, but it is a gauge that you need to pay attention to in your relationship. And so Victoria, and I cannot forget my co-host, Lenny Augustine of Venerable Inc.
I just want to thank you for being a part of the show today. Looking forward to just a fantastic session, as we call it, right, Victoria?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Let's get with it.
And she's very awesome. She's an awesome lady. I know her.
Thank you.
And so Victoria, can you tell us a little bit about, you and what you do?
Sure. I'm a licensed mental health counselor in the state of Florida. So I help people make changes in their life so that they can improve and have more peace and tranquility. I've been doing this for about the last 4 years. And my area of preference is working with women, teenagers, and also people that have experienced trauma. So I'm located in Longwood, Florida, and that's basically around the Orlando area. So those are where I predominantly see my clients. And I love what I do. I love helping people make good changes in their life. And I'm so happy that you asked me to be a part of your show. So thank you very much.
Thank you for joining.
Yeah.
Do you do anything like I know you probably have an office, but do you do any how they have some FaceTime appointments?
Yes, I do individual counseling as well as couples counseling in Orlando, Florida, and I also offer virtual sessions, so I can meet with you online if that's something that fits your schedule.
Okay. Now, our subject about gaslighting. Well, can you tell us what gaslighting is, and also if you ever had that type of relationship, or just anything about it?
Well, gaslighting is a character trait, or actually it's a behavior. So in the field of mental health, that's really what we're looking at. We're looking at behaviors, and we're looking at the way behaviors can either positively or negatively impact a person's life and their relationships. So when you talk about gaslighting, it's a tool of manipulation. So the person will try to make you believe that something's happening when it's not happening, or they may throw out a compliment or a praise when really what they're trying to do is lure you in to their, I don't want to say trap, but into their hands, so that the next time they need something from you or they want you to do something, there's an element of control there. And so that's basically what gaslighting is. And you asked, have I ever been a part of a relationship quite like that? I've experienced negative relationships. Yes, I have. And I've experienced where there has been toxic people that want to attach themselves to you. So I've had to set boundaries, and I've had to eliminate friendships too, because when a person is not healthy for you, of course, they love the benefits of the relationship because they're gaining, but all the time you're losing. So yes, I've experienced that for sure.
Okay. What are some signs that people can look out for as far as gaslighting?
Signs of gaslighting. So actually I have some notes here. I hope that's okay.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, so one of the signs of gaslighting is lying. So the person will tell you something specific, and it turns out to be a blatant lie. But another sign would be, of course, they deny that they actually said or did whatever it is that they've done. And, that can come out in a number of ways, but you're able to distinguish that it's not true, but the person doesn't own up to it. So those are some huge signs of gaslighting.
Cool. Now now I know that you said that about setting boundaries. How, like if a person's in a relationship with someone, how do they set boundaries, or is that like a just relationship where you just say cut and run?
Well, I wish it was that easy all the time, but you know, what, you're love always. You're the love addict. So what happens?
Right.
That your brain, it responds to praise, it responds to physical touch, it responds to a look. You're always responding to those things that give you that positive boost, right? So you have all those dopamine levels popping off, just like if you're in an intimate relationship with someone. Sometimes it doesn't take all of that for your sensing levels to be heightened. So you have an attachment there, not just physical, but also emotional attachment to the person. So it can be hard to cut away people that are toxic because you enjoy them. So the way to set boundaries before all of that happens is to be aware of how you respond to things. Be
Right.
aware of what it is that your needs are. And I say that a lot in counseling because for one thing, you don't even realize what needs you're trying to fill. And I know that you and I have both talked about dysfunction. And one of the areas of dysfunction is not knowing that you're actually looking for someone to fill you up, to make you feel better about yourself, to help boost your self-esteem. And that can be a real negative drawback to setting a boundary because you're not going to care what the
Okay.
person wants, says, or does, because what are you looking for? That positive boost of, oh, I feel so good. I'm so happy that they're paying attention to me. I have somebody. I'm not alone. So all of those things are things for you to be aware of prior to entering into a relationship.
So, when do you think people are most when they can be most get caught up in something like that? They're more receptive to being gaslighted.
You know, I really feel like, Lenny, it happens a lot when you don't know what your own desires and goals are, and you're just kind of caught in a place of either like a crossroads or you just never knew where you were going to start with. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it probably can happen at any stage or area of your life, but really when you're not set on who you are as a person and where you're going. So that can be
Okay.
at any stage of the game, really.
Right, right. Now, have you had any experience with people that are come out of a certain type of either not necessarily a toxic family environment, but an environment that was not conducive to that love and those things that help you grow into being the best that you can be?
Yes, there's a lot of people right now that are hurting because people have hurt them,
Yeah.
and they're holding on to the pain of the past, whether that was a mother that was negligent or a mother that was overbearing. That could be a father that was distant or a father that was verbally and physically abusive. So there are a lot of people that are experiencing pain and struggle. And so that's another good point to make is that when you're in a place of hurt or pain and you haven't let go of what happened in your past, then you're really not in a place to be able to observe and look and identify what is healthy.
Okay.
Right.
And we also talked about that too, Love Always. You were just expressing that, the pain of the past can keep you chained unless you're ready to make that disconnect and say, wait a minute, something's got to change. I've got to move forward.
Right. And so with gaslighting, I know like we're kind of talking about being gaslighted, and also how can a person, like if I was gaslighting somebody else, but like we don't tend to check ourselves or pay attention to those signs, how would we know, what I'm saying, that we're the gaslighter?
Ah, okay. So I think that's a really important question. But you said something key. You said sometimes we don't always know what we're doing.
Right.
Okay. But when people bring things to your awareness and you can see the destruction and relationships falling apart, or you're not attracting the type of person that you actually want and are able to maintain the relationship, nothing seems to work. something should be changing. You should know, okay, it may not be gaslighting, it could just be being selfish. You
Yeah.
know, I'm not being a reciprocator in this relationship. I'm just a taker. And people will often tell you that, hey, you know, I don't like that you did X, Y, and Z, or it seems like this isn't lining up, you know, and they question you on it. So I feel like if you're doing those type of things and you don't realize it, if you don't have people around you or you don't place yourself in a position to have people to express to you there's a problem, then that is the bigger problem. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Because like you said, how would I know? The people in your life will tell you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then also with you know, like that's the person if they're the gaslighter, but if a person is being gaslighted and they have this feeling that you know that they're being, you know, like you have that intuition or that
Right.
and like you said, people have that fear of being alone. What
Yeah.
are some things that they can either replace those thoughts, or you know, what is it that a person can do to start to break away free? Because sometimes a person has to start, look, everybody can't just jump in there like some people can.
Right. I understand what you're saying for sure. You know, loneliness is a lie. And why do I say that? Is because loneliness makes you feel that no one cares, that you don't matter, and that you're not a worthwhile person to be connected with, and you don't have anything to offer. So all of that is a lie, because if you're here on this planet, you have purpose, right?
Right.
So the first thing to do would be to engage in creativity. And I tell my clients that a lot. What do I mean by creativity? Well, that could be anything. Some people are great talkers. Some people are amazing readers. Some people are good at gardening. Some people are just good at taking a morning walk. Whatever it is, you need to get engaged and you need to start to move. Because when you don't, what happens? You isolate,
Right.
you disengage, you start withdrawing, you cut people off. You're definitely not being creative. So nothing good is happening. Everything seems to shut down, just like the body shuts down when it dies. That's what happens when loneliness sets in. And then we got to start talking about, okay, well, from loneliness that leads to a depressive mood, which can linger, which is a danger zone. Because what happens when that happens is our thoughts go down. So we need to start thinking and connecting and engaging in activities that help us be creative. Because from there, now we're going to start linking into purpose, which is the most important thing. We don't want to lose sight of what is the purpose of you being here. And
Yes.
from there, then people can respond, and then the loneliness uh, lie has been rejected.
Okay. Cool. And I'm gonna take a quick pause
Okay.
and give you guys a random fact while you guys do that. And
Okay.
you know, while you guys let that sink in. And my random fact is, did you know your brain keeps developing until your late 40s?
Wow.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
So my next question is so more about you as far as, you know, with your light counseling. Have you what was your aha moment in, you know, like deciding that you're going to go into this business, you know, and do, you know, help other people?
Okay. Well, I often talk about myself as far as the journey that I had to go through to get to this point. Meaning, I went through my own struggles. So I had my own issues and problems and things that I wanted to work and sort through. And so I had to get to the root of my stuff so that I could even start to begin to help other people. And
Right.
so, as that was taking place, I was also working in a community with at-risk teenagers and families. And I started seeing a pattern of dysfunction, a pattern of a lack of love. And so I started to put my focus on how do I continue to show love to other people as well as inspire them to do the same and
Right.
continue to love myself so that I can stay energized and keep this whole thing rolling. Um, so while all that was taking place, of course, I have my own family. I have children and I'm married.
Is coming up.
And so I have to stay engaged and take care of them. as well as get my education and work. And so anything that you've worked hard for, you're going to value. And so I've very much worked hard to reach this point as far as my education and my career. And so it was last year I decided that it was time for me to start birthing, if you will, my own purpose-driven practice. And so that's where Live Light came about. And the title or the name Live Light is because I want people to be able to experience life in a light manner, meaning it's hard already. Things are already happening to us all the time. But if you can just keep your mind focused on living an abundant and authentic life, then it will be light. It will be lighter on you, as well as you should be the light to other people so that they can continue to be living their best life. So that's what Live Light Counseling is all about.
I like that.
Thank you.
Great message.
Thank you.
Now, is gaslighting automatically a negative thing? I mean,
Yes, it's a tool of manipulation. So I'll read off a couple more things from my notes here. The person will try to use what's near and dear to you against you. So they know how important your children could be, your family, your career, and all of these things. And so they use it to triangulate you and make you feel as if, well, if this was important to you, and if you were a good mother, and if you're an excellent business person, and if you're this type of individual, why wouldn't you do this for me? And why don't you respond like this for me? You know, one thing they could use against you is your spirituality. If you're a person that identifies yourself as someone that is supposed to be what's the word, virtuous, or does things morally, then you would do this. You know, when really that thing takes you outside of who you are as an authentic and individualized person. That thing is what they want you to do, not what you need to be doing. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and so that is gaslighting. The person tries to make you do something that is totally against what you know is right for you.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with all this gas going on, does somebody need to get burned along the way?
Right. And so it ends up being the person on the end of the gaslight. So yeah.
Yes. Look,
I
I saw you drink your tea. Shut your mouth and keep on talking.
I should have brought me